Please.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. my views on porn have changed a lot now. I'm an older man, now that I'm a father. What's your view on porn?
I think it's bad.
But do you think it's bad and yet still, no?
I know what it is.
But you still, do you think it's bad but still watch it?
Yeah.
I'm just as much of a hypocrite.
I think
I'm about to go into a lecture about why porn is evil. But I still,
I think having it at our fingertips, I think it's terrible. But also, it just makes it just like such a more casual thing than it used to be. What historically it was.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we become hypocritical about it, because it's just so easily accessed.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I've read something ages ago that's always sort of stuck with me, where your primal mammalian self, your drive is to reproduce, right? And there's something to the idea that once you've, I'm going to use very British, I'm going to use some very uncomfortable words now, okay? But once you've ejaculated, once you've jizzed, once you've splooged, let's get it all out now. Scratch that itch.
Ooh,
yeah,
loosey-goosey.
Yeah. So once you've bust a nut. Once you've relinquished the bollock yogurt, what you find is that you sort of relax and get sleepy, and a lot of your motivation gets dulled. So there's something to frequent masturbation numbing your drive, because your drive to perpetuate the species, I suppose, is a drive that sort of pushes you and maybe gives you some, biological motivation. And then if you're constantly sort of banging one out, then you might find it maybe you don't have the same level of motivation. So that's just something I read, and I thought that made a lot of sense to me. But porn itself is so harmful. That's right there. It raises really uncomfortable questions about and expectations about sex for teenagers when they first discover it. Do you know what? I first discovered porn because I found a magazine under my brother's bed when I was far too young.
Classic.
Far too young. Really uncomfortable. And I couldn't get my head around the vagina. And then I got really uncomfortable. I
still can't.
Yeah, what is it? What are its secrets? And I remember this is not going to translate very well into the audio medium, okay? This is an unusual story about the way I processed pornography when I was a child, okay? So just bear with me.
Yep.
There was a film I enjoyed called The Borrowers, okay? And there's a part where one of the borrowers gets stuck in a milk bottle, and there's a dog that's trying to get to the borrower, and it's all trying to lick and trying to get into the milk bottle, okay? And that looked uncannily like the unusual vagina I had seen previously in the porn magazine. Okay. And so I couldn't watch The Borrowers anymore because I was so disturbed by my initial interaction with the vagina, which was, very flappy.
Dog-licking.
Very vagina-y vagina.
Yeah.
So that put me off watching The Borrowers for a little while.
Great film, though.
That's right. But I never had the sex conversation with my mum, with my parents. No one taught me sex. We didn't have proper sex education, and so for years I was very confused about what is it? What is it? I don't understand what the thing. I want to play with my Power Rangers and watch Pokemon. I don't want to be worried about this sort of thing. It came to me way too young. This sort of.
Did you have the sex bus?
Oh my god. There was a sex bus.
The sex bus, yeah.
It was me, Uncle John.
Oh, no.
The bus yard. An old bus no one had been in for years.
Oh, my God.
There was a sex bus. There was an educational
we
sex
had the
bus
sex
that
bus.
came to...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but it didn't teach you anything actually useful. It taught you how to put on a condom.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was sort of stretch it over a banana.
Yeah.
Well, that banana's big. Because I thought I'd raise more questions and no answers.
Oh, is it?
I thought that's a hefty. You remember them being little things, did you?
I thought they were tiny bananas.
So I was just very. Until I got to my first sexual relationship, I was very confused about sex and porn, and an exposure to porn at a young age was the reason why. It was just such an unusual experience. I might have overshared them, but you know what? It's my fucking show.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
So what was your first exposure to porn?
I found a DVD
Oh, right. Right. So to tell that story, and I've got a funny story about me, my mum, and a porn DVD. But tell yours first. Go ahead.
Okay. And I had a games console that could play DVDs, and I watched it. I don't particularly remember being confused or anything like that. One of the weirdest things for me, so I would say that sort of came quite naturally to me, but maybe a bit more naturally than what it did for you.
You're an agricultural man.
Well, so this is the next part of the story. Is because I went to an all-boys school, we were fueled, absolutely fueled by sex drive, because there was no women around and it was just men constantly.
Oh God.
Not that there was no
go on.
Experimenting.
I'm not going to help you.
There was no experimenting.
I was going to help you, but I didn't want to.
Or anything like that, but we were absolutely
ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go whenever we got. And it's really hard to describe to people because they just wouldn't understand.
I see. Yeah, because pent up sexual energy.
Yeah. And then any female that would come into our lives, we would just be absolute terrors.
Really?
Yeah.
I see.
So
that's interesting.
I expect porn contributed to that. Quite a bit.
Right, that's interesting. Because I suppose that is telling. That is so your relationship with, sex, and it is molded in those early years. That's why it's so important to have an in-depth conversation with an adult about the sort of thing who can help you, guide you.
I definitely don't remember having that talk at all.
No.
I'm not sure. Maybe credit to my mum. She might have had that talk, but I don't remember it.
No, and it's important, isn't it? But then the previous generation was even more guarded about it than we are, I suppose. So my story about porn is that have I got a bogey, or did you scratch your nose?
No, I was just scratching my nose.
Oh, okay. And so I remember. God, I don't want to share a story. I remember my friend lent me a DVD.
Naturally,
Jenna Jameson. Right.
Oh,
mother! She was the goat. She was the best to ever do it. Jenna Jameson, right? And then so my friend lent me a Jenna Jameson DVD. I was enjoying it in my brother's room, and he had a TV on the wall.
Oh, okay.
So one of those big fucking square ones. So that was a strong bracket. So it was a TV on the wall, DVD in, and I was enjoying watching it. Okay. My mum opened the door as I was enjoying watching this DVD. I managed to get the DVD out because I sort of heard her coming upstairs. So I quickly got the DVD out. She opened the door. I frisbee the DVD out the window.
Nice.
Okay. With my trousers and underwear down by my ankle, ass out. I turn to face my ass towards my mother, and I lean on the window where I just thrown the disc out of.
Yeah.
So she walks in. I'm leaning on the window, curtains open, looking outside. My ass is out. She goes, "Everything okay?" I said, "Yeah." And she closed the door.
Yeah. And I would do exactly the same thing.
So I didn't have any. Luckily, there wasn't any more questions. There wasn't any more follow up. But there was just an understanding of Do you know what's weird? Do you know what's weird is when you first start getting wet dreams. Right, that shit is confused. Like, I remember not knowing what the hell was going on there. Like, this is the kind of thing. This is why it's important to have.
It absolutely is
These conversations.
Yeah.
Because I remember just waking up and going, "Yo, what up? What's that?" Thinking, fucking Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. And I remember there was like for some reason there was a toy hanging around, which is like you span it, and all night for like an hour it would play like a song, right? And the first night I put that on was the first night that it happened.
Right.
So I correlated this musical toy with this unusual feeling I had. So I put it on every night before I went to bed.
Sweet.
And Mum was like, "What have you got that on for?" I was like, "Well, just sort of helps you sleep."
Yeah, I bet.
But what I was hoping for was the good night feels.
Yeah, okay. Did you ever replicate it?
Yeah, it happened sort of semi-frequently.
Okay,
and then but you don't really know what it is, so you don't know then to go shower or whatever afterwards, and it's a really like you don't know what's happening. It's a very unusual. That's what I mean. I was so confused about that sort of thing growing up.
Yeah.
So porn. If you're a teenage boy and you discover porn, let's say you're 13, 14, and you can see the way that the men are treating the women in that, it gives you totally unreal expectations of what women want from sex. The way how the women are acting as well gives you totally unrealistic expectation of how that's going to go down. And really, at first, it's like it's awkward, and the first time should be uncomfortable, awkward, not uncomfortable, it should be comfortable, but awkward. And you're learning, and it's scary and interesting and exciting. And so my sort of first experiences with all this were ruined, and a lot of it's because of porn initially. I didn't understand what was happening. So, I believe that we've gathered some interesting facts about porn.
Am I reading them out?
We should take it in turns if you like.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you read them out. Yeah, I want to hear. You read them out. You take the spotlight.
Okay.
Here. I believe in you.
A new porn film is created in the United States every 39 minutes.
Wow, holy shit.
39 minutes.
She must be knackered.
I think there's more than one.
Wow,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh, Christ.
According to Pornhub, one of the web's largest porn sites, Americans' porn watching sessions are on average the longest in the world. Americans spend an average of 10 minutes and 39 seconds on the website every time they visit. The UK was second and Germany third.
Interesting. How long do you think? Because sometimes, like, if you're not really in the mood, but you fancy because you've got a bit of time, you do peruse longer because it takes a little while longer for you if you're in the mood to strike, doesn't it? So, like, you just go you find yourself, on page 16, full of shame and guilt, typing in things you hope no other human beings ever typed in a search bar before.
Sorry, Steve, you've lost me. Don't know what you're talking about.
You've entered unholy realms where everyone starts losing limbs and height, and it gets very strange.
God.
Sorry, George, continue.
In 2023, the states that spent let me start again.
Go ahead.
In 2023, the state that spent the longest average time on Pornhub are. This is just American. Let's ignore that one.
Just keep going. Hey, listen.
It's not that interesting because
Okay,
we don't know these places.
Okay.
Alabama's in there and Tennessee. Worldwide in 2013, Pornhub had over 14 billion hits. That averages to 1.68 million visits per hour in the entire year.
Wow. So it's big business.
That is
literally selling sex.
It's terrifying.
It's terrific. Yeah.
In 1988, People versus Freeman court cases stated that adult film production, as long as it does not hurt others, was protected as free speech under the First Amendment. In other words, if porn involves consensual adults, it is protected.
Yeah.
So it's completely protected.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we can never...
Because it is. It's so much money, so much tax paid.
Well,
probably,
and also it is... I mean...
It's two humans consensually doing something, isn't it? So.
It doesn't have to be what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be a lot more natural and less showy.
Yeah. I see, yeah.
1 in 5 men, or 20%, admit to watching porn online at work. About 13% of women do.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
At work as well. That's a dangerous territory, isn't it? That's
yeah.
No. Come on, guys, get a hold of yourself. And not at work.
Let's see. On February 1st, 2009, Comcast Cable accidentally aired 37 seconds of porn during the Super Bowl.
Someone got fired for that.
Oh, yeah. In 2001, hackers in Dresden, Germany, sue...
Do you mean to go reading some?
Yeah. Yeah.
George, you had a shot.
I can't read out loud.
You had a shot and you blew it.
I'm very good at reading out loud.
Porn revenue is larger than all professional basketball, baseball, and football franchises combined.
And it's mostly free.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't it?
Yeah.
While male porn stars are usually paid around $150 per scene, women performers earn between $600 and $1,000 a scene.
Right.
Yeah. That's very dark. Oh, that's very dark. I won't read that one. Wow, people are fucking disgusting. After President Bush won the election in 2004, Republican states saw a jump in porn-related internet searches. After President Obama won, blue states saw a jump in internet searches. Researchers suggest that being on a winning team creates a surge of testosterone, which increases sex drive. Wow, so you go, Starmer's in power.
Yeah.
Nearly 2.5 billion emails per day are pornographic. What's it? Have you got a pornographic email?
I don't think I have. No,
I've obviously haven't got the right friends.
Maybe you have viruses.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is cool. I want to know more about these guys. Fluffers are people who are hired by film studios to arouse male participants before a pornography scene.
Oh.
And literally, there's people on scene. They're not on camera.
Yeah.
Their job is literally just to get the dudes hired.
Right.
Before getting them to charge off.
Male or female? Does it matter?
Probably to the performer. Probably does.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably go the other way if you're like, what's an enormous black dude trying to rub my dick? So, apologies for that. The richest porn star, Jenna Jameson. Well, Jenna, thanks for the memories.
OG. Day one.
On average, 50% of hotel guests order porn on their televisions.
That's
the
crazy.
first thing you do when you get there. Is you get there and you just beat one out. That's the first thing you do.
Is that what you do?
No.
No.
Christ. A survey of Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, Sheraton, and Holiday Inn hotels found that almost 70% of their room service profits come from porn movies. Wow. Yeah. So hotels make money.
Actual
from
profit.
it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. God, the average age of first internet porn exposure is 11 years old. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's not. That's not okay.
It fucks you up.
11, I was not ready for that.
No, me neither. No. That's when, like,
Okay.
It's very confusing, very disturbing. So yeah, that is pornography.
It is.
Is there anything we want to expound upon or highlight about the world of porn, or about our views on porn before we finish?
I'm sorry, Mum.
As am I. As am I, Mum. But this is. Do you know what I've noticed? Other podcasts we're quite reserved here. You know what I mean? We always stay away from controversial, and rightfully so. We don't want to be successful just because we say controversial things to get clicks. We don't want to be that sort of thing. We want to stay true to ourselves. But there's times where we could be honest about something and we avoid talking about it because it's awkward or because people we know might be listening.
And we're British.
Yeah, we're very very reserved, very sort of we've got awkward relationship with uncomfortable topics, haven't we? But I want to be more comfortable. This because I've said some things here that would be uncomfortable with friends and family hearing, but I also want to be honest and open. And we're talking about a delicate subject, and the podcasts I've been guesting on recently, they've been honest about this stuff. They just put it out there and make jokes about it, and it becomes more relatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good. So good. I think we've tackled that with class,
with
dignity, and I mean, I do also want to highlight that this. Whilst I think porn is a terrible thing, there's no shade on porn actors or actresses, right? I don't. You make money the way you want to make money, but I don't believe people should be ingesting, especially young people should be ingesting it, because it's harmful to your relationships, harmful to your brain chemistry, harmful to your expectations of sex and healthy relationships. But I don't want that. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying porn actors and actresses are evil or dark. Some people, I mean, if you've got that sort of. If you've got that build and that raw sexuality there, and you can make money off of your body, do your thing. As long as you're happy, you're comfortable, you're in a good and safe environment, do whatever you like. So I just want to make that little amendment at the end. So George, that was porn.
That was porn. You're right. Yeah.
Went well.
Yeah. It went all right, didn't it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
We kept it pretty cash.
Yeah, I think so. So, listener, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed that, we're going to go all the way through the alphabet. The Steve Calis show is only going to get better and better and better, but we need your help. Please consider going to Spotify, clicking the follow button, leaving us a 5-star review, leaving a comment in the comment section on Spotify. That always sort of helps. We're on a journey to the Spotify Top 100, and we need your help to get there. George, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Listener, I'm sorry, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, 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 ciao.